my friend Matt Shinn from First Baptist Church. And did we meet at the Pastor's Communion Prayer? Is that where we?
I think so, yeah. Can you all hear me? Cool. I think we met at Pastor's Communion a few years ago. Mm-hmm.
And was it a big deal for you meeting me?
Yes. Alex, let's say, has a reputation, and that's all I'll say. So, yeah.
I know that's not true, but you're a very fun person for me to talk to because you're smart and you're kind of smart alecky too, a little bit. And I have to warn you guys, Matt's thing is, it took me like 3 or 4 coffees to figure this out, but his thing is if you ask him a question because you want to get his opinion on something, he will turn it around and ask you a question. And for certain people who are kind of narcissistic like me, he asks me a question, I get excited, I start talking for 20 minutes. Then I'm like, wait a minute, he never answered my question. So I've tried it several times, and then now I'm on to you. So it's not going to work tonight.
You figured me out. Yeah.
Well, so I don't know what you're going to do now. You might have to answer the questions. So,
that's great.
As always, for this class, Karen's going to be here somewhere with a microphone. You can ask questions at any point. We encourage it. Matt is not afraid of questions. We've talked some heavy theology, which is part of the fun, as processing through the scriptures and the contemporary church versus the historic church and stuff like that. So maybe let's start. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what's your blood type, what's your PIN number on your debit card, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. My mother's maiden name is. I just want to start by saying it's a joy to be here tonight. It's been fun to be friends with Alex and Donna and getting to know Sam a little bit these last few years as well, and to see the merger between Rivet and Vineyard is beautiful. It's just fun to be here. It's just fun to be here with fellow believers and to talk. I am a solo pastor of my community, so I am a lot of hats that I wear. So that takes up a lot.
Which one are you wearing tonight?
Yeah, this one's from Hawaii, so it's a fun one. But cool. A lot of hats that I wear. Did
you not wash your hair today? Is that why you're wearing a hat?
So my hair, I need a haircut. It's very big right now. It's kind of like an afro. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been growing it out for a few months now. But so to answer your question, yes and no. But it's good to be here. You asked a little bit about myself.
Yes.
Born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. Grew up like a stone's throw away of Regis University, so north side of Denver, like I-70 and Federal, if you're familiar with that area. What else would you like to know? Yeah.
Well, when did you grow up in a Christian family, or were your parents were like Buddhists and you rebelled, or what's your religious background?
Yeah, I would say I grew up in a Christian family for sure.
What kind of Christian?
Yeah, this is kind of fun. So I played soccer all growing up at a decently high level. But what that means is Saturday and Sunday and 4 times a week I was in practice for club and high school and all this stuff. So year-round played soccer. So I didn't go to church. Like I was never part of a youth group growing up. But I did go to Christian school K through 12. So I grew up within the church, but more of like Christian school rather than like church proper. And parents are Christians. Grew up just kind of in non-denominational Baptist circles, you know what I mean? Not having a name for us, but Christian. Yeah.
Non-denominational. So is that the same denomination you're in now, or is it?
No. So I'm part of the American Baptist Church, which is. Have you guys ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like everything's made up, points don't matter. American Baptist Church.
Do you guys know what he's talking about? The comedy show. Whose Line Is It Anyway?
It's a great show. Worth watching. A Baptist, an American Baptist, believe that the Bible is our final authority and standard for our life. So this means how we interpret the Bible is how we live our life. So this can mean we have churches within our denomination that are very far right of center and churches in our denomination that are very far left of center. And we at First Baptist here in Longmont are pretty much right in the middle. We're pretty moderate theologically when it comes to how we interpret the Bible and live out our Christian faith. But it means that it's a big tent. So we have open and affirming, super progressive churches like the church in Boulder to super more fundamentalist, hyper-conservative churches like some of the Eastern Plains, and we all get together and love Jesus because we're all united to him. And we have differences of opinions in how we interpret things and live out our life, but we're one family united on mission together.
So does everybody in American Baptist, the introductory statement you said is everybody, the Bible is the
authority.
The authority that you base it on. So it's not a question of people treating the Bible with authority, but how you interpret it.
Correct. Yeah, well, we would say that the Bible is how we live our lives. The question becomes, as we've been Christians for more than a few minutes here, is we realize that maybe different people read a passage different than us or interpret a passage different than us. And the question is, can we still be united together if Alex reads something different than how I read something or how Karen reads something? And we would say, yes, absolutely we can. We can be on mission together.
So is there somebody in the American Baptist Church, if they go to a certain point, like maybe they, I don't know, don't believe that Jesus ever existed or that he rose from the dead, can they still be within the American Baptist group? Or is anyone going to say, oh, hold on, you crossed the line? Or is it just sort of like we're in this thing together?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as Baptists, we hold to the autonomy of the local church, which means, so like you guys had our friend Rick here last week. You guys will have later on, I won't spoil names, but people from other Christian denominations and traditions of the church. And they answer to like maybe a bishop or a presbyter, where they are people on high that would say, hey, like you have to fall within these guidelines to be part of our community. We as Baptists hold to the autonomy of the local church. So the local church gets to decide what that congregation looks like, which means that there's no bishop, there's no presbyter. It is truly the believers gathering together to live out their life together.
So does that give you more authority as a local pastor then? If you don't, can you sort of set the flavor of your congregation? Or?
So maybe, but not really. I mean, not here. So this is important too. Like our church is now on Easter in 2025, last year, turned 135 years old. And praise God. Praise God.
Right in downtown,
yeah. Incredible. We've been around in our location off 7th or Longs Peak in Kimbark since 1922. So over 100 years now, right? Which is cool. And what that means is there's a deeply established culture that's already present. It's not like maybe like a church plant where like you guys are still trying to figure out and sort out the DNA. A lot of the customs, a lot of what we think, a lot of who we are is already baked, and there's freedom to kind of come in, talk about things, say, what is it that we want to be, and ask those conversations. But, a church that's 135 years old is different than a church that's, a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is First Baptist and Second Baptist, are they related?
Is there a Second Baptist here in town?
Second Baptist Church in Boulder.
Oh, yeah. So the Second Baptist Church in Boulder, they are, to my knowledge, predominantly African American. And they are part of the National Baptist Convention, which is a predominantly African American. But a lot of National Baptists and American Baptists are dually aligned. They're with each other. So like Reverend Martin Luther King, how Martin Luther King Day was on Monday, he was actually an American Baptist minister. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he was an American Baptist minister. So yeah, there's a lot of blending. What's really cool about like our region here in Colorado is that 1/3 of the American Baptist churches here in Colorado are African American. So there's a huge black presence.
So when you gather together with other American Baptists, you're with African American pastors too.
A big Burmese population.
Burmese.
A big Korean population. So
Wow.
yeah, there's.
Okay, that's very
it's
cool.
always multi-ethnic.
What's the difference between American Baptists and National Baptists?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of it. So. Pardon me, miss? Yeah, so it all started out back in the day with one Baptist church, which started off, the First Baptist Church was in Providence, Rhode Island. America continued to grow and spread. Baptists began to grow and spread. And then what really split, to go back to American and Southern, was the Civil War. So in the South, the Southern Baptist Convention has it started. They believed and had the conviction that a slave owner could be ordained for a minister and missionary. And in the North, they said, no, someone who owns a slave cannot be ordained is a missionary or minister. And that's when they split and that's what started the Southern Baptist Convention as we know it now. And then they were called the Northern Baptists. We had a name change at some point to American Baptist. The difference between American and national is, what's really cool is the American Baptist Church and the United Methodist Church were the first churches here in America to ordain slaves for for the work of ministry, seeing that anyone who has the Spirit in them, who has the gifts of leadership by the Spirit, can work within ministry. So there's always been a big African-American presence within the American Baptist Church, but there was a kind of more of a split between National Baptist and American. Again, there's a lot of churches that are both, but National Baptist is just a predominantly African-American Baptist representation. But we get along together, we're good friends, and they do some good work.
So there's so many different types of Baptists, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like Baptists, when we think of Baptists, maybe we're apt to think of Southern Baptists. Or
Definitely the majority of folks who are Baptist are Southern, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking about how long you've been at your church, you know, how
ma'am.
long it's been there. And I just want to know, are you set in your ways? Can anybody come in and shake it up? I mean,
Yeah.
Are you volunteering, Melissa?
Are you too comfortable that there's no movement? Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense, yeah. Great question.
That's a
Karen.
borderline not nice question, by the
No,
way.
it's a great question.
Borderline, all right.
No, I mean, we have had to bring some things and talk about what does it look like to be here in the heart of downtown Longmont. Is, you know, when you've been around for so long, there's deep entrenched traditions, and traditions are good and bad.